Welcome to Farmer Agriculture. Ever wondered about the incredible journey your favorite foods make from farms worldwide to your grocery store shelves? In this blog, we'll take you on a fascinating trip around the globe, exploring the processes that bring bananas, ice cream, Gorgonzola cheese, Beluga caviar, sardines, kombucha, and cranberries to your table. Protecting the beloved banana in Magdalena, Colombia. Our first destination is Magdalena, Colombia, where we'll explore how farmers are safeguarding the popular Cavendish banana from a dangerous fungus. You've probably seen these bananas in supermarkets worldwide. They're loved for being tasty, visually appealing, and easy to transport due to their thick skin and ability to ripen during transit. However, there's a catch. Cavendish bananas are sterile, meaning they don't have seeds. Since they're genetic copies of each other, they are highly susceptible to diseases like TR4, one of the deadliest plant diseases. If one clone is affected, the entire plantation is at risk of being wiped out. The fungus doesn't harm humans, but it does kill banana plants, resulting in no more fruit production. Scientists believe TR4 likely originated in Southeast Asia in the 90s and spread globally. In 2019, it hit Latin America and the Caribbean, which collectively produces 75% of the world's bananas. To prevent the fungus from spreading, Colombian farms, like Evanort 2, have implemented biosecurity measures. Workers there thoroughly clean and disinfect vehicles to avoid carrying infected soil onto the farm. Cement paths have been built to minimize soil contact during harvesting. In the fields, workers use a foot bath with ammonium to sanitize their shoes, and banana fingers are measured to ensure proper ripeness. Harvested bananas undergo a thorough process in the packaging plant. They are sanitized, checked for quality and fusarium damage, and bathed to remove natural latex from the peel. The bananas are then packaged into smaller bunches, labeled, and carefully wrapped to prevent bruising during transportation. Within 4 hours of harvesting, these boxed bananas are loaded onto trucks and transported to the nearby port. From there, they are shipped to the U.S., following a meticulous process to ensure the bananas remain healthy and free from the deadly TR4 fungus. Ben & Jerry's ice cream factory in the U.S. To create the ice cream base, we start with milk and cream in a blending tank, adding lots of sugar. Every day, the factory uses 6,700 gallons of cream. All ice cream flavors begin with either a sweet cream or chocolate base. The mix master then adds eggs, stabilizers, and cocoa powder if it's a chocolate base. The mixture is pasteurized to kill bacteria and stored for 4 to 8 hours. After making the two bases, they go to one of the 20 flavor vats for a flavor boost. The factory constantly develops new flavors, but only 3 or 4 make it to production. Before adding Ben & Jerry's famous chunks, the mix must reach below freezing temperatures. It passes through a freezing barrel and comes out as ice cream. Quality testing is done along the way, with lucky workers tasting the ice creams. Chunks are added through the chunk feeder, including brownie bites, cookie dough, fruits, and nuts. Finally, the pints are filled at a rate of 270 pints per minute. Quality assurance personnel cut open pints to check for symmetry and air bubbles, also measuring weight to ensure the right amount of ice cream. The pints then take a second spin in the freezer, reaching 10 degrees. After 3 hours, they are frozen and ready to be packaged. The pints are flipped, shrink-wrapped into groups of 8, and shipped worldwide. Ben & Jerry's avoids selling gallon tubs to prevent ice cream from going bad in the back of your fridge. Crafting creamy Gorgonzola cheese in Italy. Our journey takes us to Italy, where we explore a dairy certified to make creamy Gorgonzola cheese. From the initial steps of adding fungus to milk to the careful aging process, we'll provide insights into the craftsmanship behind this iconic cheese, explaining why it's worth the wait. In around 20 minutes, milk turns into curd and can be put into molds. Each wheel of cheese is labeled with a unique number, like 60 in this case. This place, called Casey featuring Vernity, produces 450 to 500 Gorgonzola wheels every day. To let the curds settle, the wheels are turned 4 times and then left overnight. After that, they are salted a few times. At this point, they weigh about 18 kilos, 40 pounds, but this drops to 12 kilos, 26 pounds by the end of the aging process due to excess weight being released. The salt rooms where the cheese is placed are warm and humid to encourage yeast activity inside. Mild Gorgonzola wheels stay for 3 days, while hard Gorgonzola stays for 5. Then they are moved to a cold room and punctured 100 times on each side. This allows oxygen into the cheese, giving it its signature blue veins. After this step, the cheese is left to age. It takes 2 months for the blue creamy Gorgonzola and 3 months for the green pungent one. Beluga caviar. Production. Beluga caviar is a special and luxurious type of fish egg delicacy. The process of making beluga caviar involves the beluga sturgeon, a large and slow-maturing fish that takes up to 20 years to produce its eggs. When the beluga sturgeon is ready, the fish's belly is carefully sliced open and the precious egg sac is delicately removed. These eggs are large and have a distinct flavor that sets beluga caviar apart. After extraction, the caviar eggs are placed on a metal grate to get rid of any impurities. The flavors of beluga caviar can vary from fish to fish, and each sturgeon's eggs are packed individually to preserve their unique qualities. Following a special recipe known as molossol, the eggs are salted to enhance and preserve their taste. This meticulous process ensures that beluga caviar maintains its exceptional quality and is ready to be enjoyed as a delicacy. The entire production of beluga caviar reflects the patience and care required to create this exquisite culinary experience. Sardine canning in Spain. We're making 2 types of sardines: sardines in olive oil and spiced sardines in tomato sauce. The sardines we're using are fresh and just arrived from Matosinhos Harbor this morning. We're doing the entire canning process today, and everything should be done by 5 p.m. Let's take a look at how the sardines are canned here at Pinati. First, the sardines are placed on a marble table, and their heads and tails are cut off by hand. After that, they're brined for about half an hour. Next, the sardines are put on handmade grids by Senor Albino in his workshop at the factory. Then, they're rinsed to remove salt and steamed. Throughout the day, all the ingredients for the sardines are cut by hand. Each type of spiced sardines includes black pepper, carrot, laurel, piri-piri, clove, and cucumber, added one by one. Kombucha brewing in Oregon. Here at Brew Doctor in Portland, Oregon, we make kombucha using just 3 main ingredients: water, tea, and sugar. This recipe has been the same for thousands of years, dating back to its origin in China. In Japan, they used seaweed, which is why it's called kombucha. Nowadays, we add fun botanicals like rosé, mint, and lavender to the tea. A single batch of kombucha requires about 85 pounds of tea, resulting in 66,000 bottles. The process begins by brewing a big pot of sweet tea, which is then fermented into kombucha over 40 minutes. The tea is filtered to remove organic material, and we partner with local municipalities to compost the waste. After cleaning, the sweet tea goes to fermentation tanks where it starts producing alcohol. The room is kept warm at 82 degrees Fahrenheit, creating an ideal environment for fermentation. The sweet tea is added to tanks containing a symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast, SCOBY. As the kombucha ferments, the SCOBY forms layers. A worker pops CO2 bubbles at the top of the tank, and the SCOBY consumes sugar, creating carbon dioxide, making the kombucha bubbly and mildly alcoholic. After 3 weeks, the kombucha reaches about 3% alcohol by volume. To meet legal requirements for a soft drink, we use a $1 million machine to reduce the alcohol content to under 0.5% without altering the liquid's nature. Each bottle is tested for alcohol content, and a label warns consumers of trace amounts. Once the alcohol is below the legal limit, the kombucha is packed and shipped responsibly to consumers. Let's wrap up the video here. Before you go, do not forget to share your insights about this video. Also hit the subscribe button so you can get notifications for our latest videos. See you in the next video.